All right. I have my microphone turned on because last time I forgot to do that. Or did I forget to do it? Was like I said, doing a PSA for turning your microphone on? But this time, no confusing it. It's on, and the Celtics didn't ruin my Sunday afternoon, early evening. They actually made it enjoyable with a dominant win over a team that is ahead of them in the standings in the Eastern Conference. The Charlotte Hornets came into this game having not met the Celtics yet this season. Strangely enough, just a weird quirk of the schedule. And despite no Gordon Hayward and no LaMelo Ball and no Malik Monk, I believe, uh, people were expecting a competitive game because Charlotte's been a good team this season. And they thought, maybe Terry Rozier would be jazzed up for this game. And the Celtics really, after a slow start, really ramped it up. And I'm talking a slow start for just like the first part of the first quarter. They really ramped it up and started to absolutely take care of business. And basically, after that, midway through like the second, I'd say, this one was never in doubt as the Celtics just continue to pile on and on and on and end up blowing out the Hornets by 30. Final score 116-86. You saw the first game this season of the Celtics lottery pick last year, Romeo Langford. He ended up getting 12 minutes, so 2 stints off the bench. He finished the night with 3 points, a +10 and a plus-minus column. He had an assist, a steal, a really nice block. Shot 1 of 4 from the floor, 1 of 2 from 3. So his lone basket was a 3-pointer. That was actually his first shot of the game, first shot of the season. So, nice to see Romeo Langford not on the injured report and on the court. But the question is with this game, is this a turnaround for the Celtics because they beat someone who was ahead of them in the standings? Is this something we can read into? Or is it more similar to what I said happened the other night against the Rockets, where they went up against a really bad team and just sort of had their way with them? I know this sounds kind of unfair, but it's sort of in between, honestly. The Hornets are not at full strength by any stretch. They didn't have Gordon Hayward, as I mentioned. They didn't have Malik Monk. They didn't have LaMelo Ball. Ball and Hayward, to me, are their 2 best players. So this isn't the Hornets just because they came in ahead of you. This isn't the team that's been playing better basketball than the Celtics this year. It's sort of a shell of that team. So you have to take this win with a grain of salt. That being said, the Hornets are still pretty good, even without those guys, good enough to not get blown out by 30. So you could say, well, this isn't the full strength Hornets team that's been giving other teams in the league problems, but it's too good of a team to lose by 30. So the Celtics, in the fashion that they won, did show me something. Now, as I've been saying all year long, they need to start to string together, longer sequences of playing well for me to think anything other than they're going to lose in the first round and Brad Stevens is going to get fired or mutually part ways at the end of the year. That's still what I believe. I'm not going to back off that at all. But it was certainly encouraging to see them play so well tonight. And the way they played, sort of the style they played, was encouraging. They were running. They were playing really, really aggressive, fantastic defense. The first half, they gave up. Oh, Jesus. Now I have to do math. What's 26 plus 17? Someone help me in the chat. 26 plus 17. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be able to figure it out. But that's how many points they gave up because I screwed myself by trying to do math on the fly here. It's just never a good idea for me to even attempt that. But they played good defense in the first half. 43, Reston Iro. That sounds right. I appreciate it. Gave up less than 50. I know that. That's how many points they gave up in the first half, which anytime you do that in the NBA, that's really, really good. And the Celtics have been giving up 60-point halves. So to see them play such good defense, that was really an encouraging sign. Obviously, Charlotte only finished the game with 86 points. So first and foremost, the Celtics played great defense this game. The Hornets turned the ball over 17 times. A lot of that was Celtics just being aggressive defensively. They forced the Hornets into shooting just 32% from 3 on the night, 40% from the floor on the night. They did a really good job being aggressive, switching. And again, it's not like the Hornets, especially without Ball or Hayward, they don't have that many playmakers then, because those are their two best playmakers on top of their two best players. Rozier is not really a playmaker. He's a shot maker. So the Celtics did a good job taking away guys from playing one-on-one basketball with good, solid defense. And Marcus Smart was very aggressive tonight. And Robert Williams did a good job protecting the rim. You also saw the Celtics running and getting out on the breaks. They shot the three ball well, except for Kemba Walker. And ultimately, that's what leads to a 30-point blowout, is you need to have a confluence of events where you play good defense, you turn the ball, you get the ball turned over, you transition that into offense, you hit your threes. That's how you win an NBA game by that many points. So the way the Celtics played is more encouraging to me than the fact that they beat this kind of shell of themselves Hornets team, is that they moved the ball around well. They played really good defense. They played fast. That's the sort of stuff you need to see. Now, they need to keep doing it on a consistent basis. But if they can just look at the tape of this game and say, man, if we play this way, fast, aggressive, solid defense, then we can be a team that's not nearly as frustrating as they've been. That's what's the problem with the season has been, is they have the potential to play really, really well, but sometimes they just don't play within themselves. Too many times they'll play offense by one-on-ones, dribbling the ball until the end of the shot clock, taking bad shots, not moving the ball, giving up on defensive possessions, not running at all. And tonight was the opposite of that. So that's the encouraging part, is the way they played tonight and the way they got this win. Not so much of the fact that they beat the Hornets by a lot of points, but the way they were able to do it. So let's go into the box score tonight. Again, final score 116-86 in a absolute blowout. The Celtics moved to 500, 25-25. The Hornets now just a game above 500 at 25-24. Celtics starters tonight, who fortunately didn't have to play big minutes: Jason Tatum, Robert Williams, Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown. Tatum finishes with a team high and tied for a game high, 22 points on the night, 4 assists, 8 rebounds. He's 8-15 from the floor, 3 of 9 from 3. He really, really, really got it going in the third quarter. He started off slow, and then he really picked up his scoring in the third quarter. It was just unconscious, and even he had a buzzer beater to end the third quarter. You'd like to see more consistency out of Jason Tatum. That's been the maddening thing about his season, is that you see flashes where he can't miss, and then flashes where he just doesn't seem engaged at all. You'd love to see the guy engaged for a full game. Now, tonight is obviously a different story. It was a blowout, but you see just the potential is there to be a dominant scorer. And too often he'll go through these long stretches where he's not doing anything on the court. So, but a good game tonight from Jason Tatum. Robert Williams continues to shine as a starter. He has 16 points in 25 minutes. He finishes 7 of 9 from the floor, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and a block shot, continuing to just fill up the box score whenever he gets on the court. Kemba Walker, 26 minutes for Kemba tonight, 12 points, 6 assists, 2 rebounds, just 2 of 9 from 3, not good. 5 of 12 from the floor, not great there either, but it didn't really matter as the Celtics were up big, but the shooting continues to be a problem for Kemba. Marcus Smart, 28 minutes, 4 of 8 from the floor. All of those were three-pointers, where he finished 4 of 7. He has 12 points and 4 assists on the night, and some really good defensive Terry Rozier. Jaylen Brown, your last starter, 26 minutes, 6 of 13 from the floor, 5 of 8 from 3, 6 boards, an assist, a block, and 17 points for Jaylen Brown. Everybody got in this game, as it was a blowout, so you saw the whole bench empty out. I already talked about Romeo Langford's first game, which he looked much more impressive on the defensive side. The offensive side, which is sort of what you expect out of him. I'll just run through it quickly. Grant Williams, 8 minutes, no points. Aaron Nesmith, 12 minutes, no points. He did have 6 rebounds, though. Luke Cornett, 9 minutes, 2 points. Mo Wagner, 9 minutes, 3 points. Taco, 5 minutes, 3 points for Big Taco. Peyton Pritchard, 17 minutes off the bench. He was 2 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 4 from 3, 5 points, though that 3 did put him ahead of Larry Bird, all-time Celtics rookie records in a single season. So he has more threes than Larry Bird. That's more of a era that they played in thing, as opposed to him being a better shooter than Larry Bird. No offense to Peyton Pritchard, but He's still got a ways to go there. Carson Edwards got his 6 minutes and 2 points. Tremont Waters, 6 minutes, 2 points for him. Evan Fournier, another really, really good game. So back-to-back good games from Evan Fournier. He plays 22 minutes, scores 17 points, 4 of 5 from the floor. 4 or 5 from 3, 5 of 9 from the floor. Again, 17 points, 6 assists. Fournier starting to really find his rhythm in Boston. And now the Celtics have a little 2-game winning streak. Granted, again, not against the world beaters of the NBA, but certainly you'll take it. Any winning streak in this season has been hard to come by for the Celtics. Now they start to get into some tougher games as Tuesday. They have a couple days off, and then they play the Sixers, followed by the Knicks. So those are back-to-back tough games. And then the rest of the week, they got Minnesota and Denver. So really just one game that they should, absolutely win, which is Minnesota. Minnesota is playing better of late, but the Celtics should still beat them. Philly, New York, and Denver are all going to be tough games. And if that Sunday game in Denver, if Aaron Gordon goes off on the Celtics, you're going to hear it from the fans because he was desperately wanted here, and we got his teammate Evan Fournier, but former teammate, I should say. But we'll see. We'll save that for Sunday. So 2 big games to start the week. Knicks on Tuesday, followed by the Sixers on Tuesday, followed by the Knicks on Wednesday. So those are back-to-back games. I will be there. I will be here watching the games, covering them post-game. I'm not going there. And I will be doing the post games as I always do. And I appreciate everybody watching and listening. And in the chat, Weston Iro, Leonard Kim, very, very loyal people. Both of you are. The upcoming West Coast road trip worries Leonard Kim. It should, anything should worry you about the Celtics season. Their road trip that Leonard's mentioning is Denver, Portland, Lakers. And none of those games. We'll see if the Lakers are full strength at that point. That game's on April 15th. LeBron might be back. AD might be back. Possibly neither of them will be back. We'll have to see what that team looks like at the time. But there's no string of games that remain in the season that you should feel good about the Celtics because they haven't proven it. And that's why even though they had a great win today in terms of a blowout, you can't feel great about it because of the way they've played all year. So certainly can't feel super confident. Weston, not going into the stadium. No, LeBron's not out for the season, Weston. He's got a sprained ankle, which for him probably should be like a 1 or 2 game injury, but he's gonna milk it because they don't need him as long as they make the playoffs, which they will. LeBron can just coast. The Lakers, if you listen to my pick and roll NBA podcast, which will be up on YouTube again tomorrow, I'm doing a show tomorrow. I've talked about this before with LeBron. The Lakers, they have championship experience. Seeding doesn't matter to them. So as long as the Lakers just get in, which again they will, they've banked enough games. LeBron and AD can sit out plenty of time. They can play anybody in the playoffs and beat them without home court advantage. Doesn't really matter. So thanks again, guys, for watching, and I appreciate the thumbs up and the likes and the comments and the subscription on YouTube. And I will be back on Tuesday for a big game against the 76ers. We'll see how Rob Williams does against Joel Embiid, who made his return the other night. So until then, appreciate all of you. And we'll see if the Celtics can build on this a little bit. All right. See ya.